Coaster. Do. It's going to be just straight up Christmas carols. So we're going to do the whole entire session is karaoke Christmas.
Jolly Christmas.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Jingle bells all the way.
You don't know the words. What the heck you're singing there? Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Where these hats not only are festive, but they protect you from the drones. They think you're one of them, and they leave you alone. In New Jersey, if you wear these and you walk around, the drones fly right over your house. They won't even come near you. So
really?
you got to get one of these. They protect you.
Where did you learn that?
I've been watching the news.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Rumor is they were searching for intelligent life in New Jersey and they couldn't find it. Hey, John McGinnis. Hello, John. Heather.
It blinds them.
Does it really? Oh, no. It's the drones. Jersey drones. Jersey drones. This is all we see in the skies of New Jersey.
Merry Christmas.
Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Yes, we're getting very, very close to the holidays. We actually made the mistake of making a trip to the mall today, which was a whole lot of fun. But the Christmas shopping is done. Thank goodness. Done. Mr. and Mrs. Christmas, that's us. What are we if we are not festive? Had a great weekend. That's good to hear, Kathy.
That's really nice to hear.
So, again, update on Chip. I did see a message on Chip's Facebook that, he's still not out of, the woods or anything, but he's getting better. So, I mean, he's still not feeling well. He's getting better. He's showing improvement. He's talking a little more and being what I hear is the regular Chip. So, praying that Chip gets out of there and he's home in time for the holidays and that he's better and
positive.
Okay.
That the fact is that he posted that on his own.
Yeah,
so
that's what I
mean.
mean.
Really
so
good
he's
news.
Doing better
because he wasn't communicating at all, and that was terrifying.
But yeah, we went to when we were on the road last night. We went to a Christmas party. Had a good time. It was really cool. They had this thing at the Christmas party where they handed out raffle tickets to everybody who was there.
Yeah.
And when they called your number, there was like all these gifts on a big table. And when they called your number, you just picked any gift, whatever, big or you could steal somebody else's, which people did. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carrie.
And happy gastritis, whatever that is.
Oh, that's not fun.
That's what you got for your birthday, Carrie. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, YouTube, if you go on YouTube, YouTube is the only place where you can go to super chat us. That means you could give us $1, $2, whatever. So if you subscribe to YouTube and you go onto YouTube channel, we're not going to do the Patreon thing. We're not going to do any of that stuff. If you go on YouTube and just subscribe to the YouTube channel and you watch us on YouTube, they have the option of super chat where you could give us a couple of bucks for batteries or whatever if you follow us on YouTube. So we're trying to grow the YouTube channel. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, which I know isn't much for the big boys and girls out there, but not bad for a couple of weirdos from New Jersey with Christmas hats on. So there. But anyway, yeah, you can go on YouTube and do that. We are actually heading into the city Wednesday, believe it or not.
Ooh.
That should be fun because it's so close to Christmas and all the tourists are going to be there. We're going to try to navigate our way through there with some friends.
Hello, everybody.
You can't tell you who because.
What's the name of the channel? New Jersey Paranormal.
Yeah, you just have to look up New Jersey Paranormal. And what was the free paranormal chat? This is it. You're watching it. I mean, what do you mean? What was the free paranormal chat? It's still free. We're just saying if you wanted to go there and super chat, you're free to do that. You can't really do that on Facebook. Facebook has stars, but stars are only worth a penny. So it's like you give 1 million stars and don't mean you're not going to get anything from that. Facebook will probably take some of that. So, like I said, we're slowing down finally, believe it or not. Doesn't stop the planning for what we want to do going forward. I'm hoping we're touring a new place in hopefully a week or two that we went by. We really like this place. It was one of those places where you drive by. We didn't even know we were in the area of whatever this thing was. We were on our way somewhere else and we drove by and we saw this, whatever we saw. And we were like, whoa,
Boy, gotta
like,
stop.
what is that? So we turned around, came back, we read all the signs, what it was and what was there. And we Googled it. We did the Google. And then we were like, oh, this is kind of cool. So we reached out and never heard from them. And this is going back a year or more. And then finally got an email 2 days ago. Hey, read your email. You guys want to come and take a look, and so hopefully we'll meet with them. Hopefully we'll tour the place and get to see everything we didn't get to see when we were there the last time. And we'll be able to work with them and maybe do some events there because there's got to be claims of activity there. There really has to be because it's really old. There's multiple buildings there. And
thank you, Nicole.
I guarantee you they've experienced stuff there. And the fact that they reached back after all this time probably means that there's new people on the board who are into the paranormal and want somebody to come in.
Listen, this place is amazing and it's steeped in history, and just the architect on this place and the extent of this place. If we get to tour and it ends up being haunted, which we hope it is, I mean, it's going to be amazing. And I want to say hello to Diane from Alabama.
Prayers for your family, Celine. I don't know what's going on, but Celine,
prayers always.
Celine and Dan, good people, their family. So please say a prayer for Celine, Dan, and the family. Whatever's going on, we pray it's nothing too bad and that it gets better, whatever it is, Celine. So I had a call that I had mentioned to John Zappis when we were interviewing him. This was a real email. It wasn't a call. It was a real email. It was a gentleman whose his mom and dad lived in the same house for years and years and years and years. And the mother had passed recently, and the father was hearing the mom's voice. And I don't know if you remember the interview with John, but I was saying to John, is that it's weird that they're getting that kind of interaction right off the bat, because some people dream about people they lost and all that other stuff. You never really hear those people say, I hear a voice, except for Maureen. Maureen was another one that we met similar. And Maureen's situation was she moved in with her father, her mother and father, to take care of her father. She moved the whole family into the house. And she took care of her father for 3 years, and he passed. And she went into severe depression. And they called us in, and we figured, he's there looking after you. He sees the shape that you're in, until you get better and move on. And he's probably going to stick around because that's what dads do. I mean, good dads, So this email kind of reminded me of that. And they really wanted us to go in there and just see if we could validate that and document it and hear her voice for ourselves. So it was just one of those things where I told them, right now we can't do that. I mean, we were so busy and we're exhausted, and I literally hurt my leg and my back today to where it's like killing me. Yeah, see, Carlos found us. The rest of you, follow Carlos.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's a family member?
I didn't read that. I just saw 6 months. Let me scroll down. I just scroll down. Celine says it's not good. My uncle just told me that his cancer will only give him 6 months if he doesn't do chemo, and if he does, oh my God, Jesus.
Sorry to hear that, Celine.
Celine, I'm very, very, yeah. I was hoping it wasn't anything like that, but yeah, we're all saying prayers for your uncle and for you and for your family.
Hi, everyone that's joining.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Celine. I am. I pray that chemo does something, and that doctors have been wrong before and people have lived much longer. I pray that's the case for him as well. Yeah, you try not to, this time of the year, you hope. Well, there is no good time of the year for any tragic news or to get that kind of news. But yeah, you try to.
You try to be hopeful, and you try to.
Yeah, this time of the year, you hope that nothing like that will touch your life. And
there's very few people that know this, but I said to I told a handful of people, there is a family member that in our family that has brain cancer right now, and we're the type that we're going to stay optimistic. We're going to look at all the possibilities and all of these things, and we're not going to look at the negative, because negative brings negative. And if you're positive, some of the most remarkable things happen when you least expect it. And so when I say this to you, Celine, we definitely pray for the most positive thing. And yeah, it's always a good thing to spend more time with your uncle and enjoy life and not dwell on and be morose about it, because then it takes the joy out of life. And if that is the time that he has left, or whatever choice he has, you want it to be the best possible it can. And the family member in our family has it as a child, and we're all trying to just like make sure that this person is very joyous and happy, and we're going to wish for the best and hope for the best.
So I've got a funny story to break up the mood. We have to go Christmas shopping. There's a few people left to buy for, and one of them is Donna's husband, Joe. We're having dinner with Donna and her husband. We do pretty much every year for the last, I don't know how many years. We get together with Donna, Mary, and her husband, Joe. We drive to their house. We have dinner with the dogs and with Donna and with Joe. And Joe is a very dry sense of humor. My mother used to always say that about me, a very dry sense of humor, which means you like things that are poopy jokes and everything else like that. And Joe is one of those guys. I like Joe. Joe is funny. Joe can be a little, off color with his humor. So we're looking, I'm like, Donna, what do I get Joe? I don't know what Joe likes. And again, I'm having this conversation with my son. We were talking about how my daughter took my son to the mall to buy his Christmas present because she didn't know what to get him. And I think that is still that in all of them, because again, I don't want to spend money on things that people don't like, So for me, it's like, tell me what you want. I know it's not going to be a surprise, but at least you'll get what you damn want. To me, that's the most important thing. I can be surprised by crap, but I don't want to be surprised by crap. I want to be like, oh, I know I'm getting that thing.
And he hates surprises.
I know I'm getting, I hate being surprised by crappy things I don't want.
He hates surprises.
No.
He can't
If I'm surprised by something good, like the drone, that was a really good surprise. I was surprised.
Listen.
But if it was some crappy gift, then I would have been like, oh, well, I wish you'd have just asked me.
You can get him a present, and you can't wrap it. You can't put it under the tree. He will pester you like a 5-year-old. What is it? What'd you get me? What is it? What it?
My kids don't tell me what they get me.
You tell them what to get you. You know what you're getting.
That's how you're happy every Christmas morning.
So you're not going to want to look in a box or whatever if you already know what it is. You see?
So
exactly what
that's
you
how
do.
I am. As a matter of fact, today we go to the mall and I say, I want to buy you something else. And she says, you already got me this one thing. No, she knew what I got her because
And it's
I needed her input in getting
a
the
very
thing.
wonderful gift that he got me.
Yeah, that she wanted. I needed her input for that. So that's why it was a surprise in the moment, but it wasn't going to be a Christmas surprise because she already knew. So anyway, so we go to the mall and I'm like, I want to buy you something else. What else do you want? So she picked something out. I bought it. It was something she wanted. Happy. We're all happy now. So anyway, so now back to Joe. Donna says Joe goes to his son's for Christmas Eve or Christmas, and he always wears like an ugly sweater or a Christmas hat. So we go to Spirit Christmas, which if you haven't been, it's one of those impulse buy shops. They got a lot of Christmassy stuff. They're like, ooh, you really don't need this, but you buy it, like Spirit Halloween. So we're looking around, and every funny, hey Roger, every funny sweater is
off color.
Off color. Some curse words, some are dirty, some are. Joe has that sense of humor, but I said to her, everyone we were looking at, and we were saying, that's Joe. But the problem is, Joe was going to his sons, and we didn't know if there were going to be little kids there, grandkids, whatever. So,
David, we prayed for the best for you with that coming up.
So, I took a picture of like 10 different sweaters and a bunch of different hats. We got the pictures of the hats and stuff, I think, are on your phone. But the one that Donna picked for Joe was the first one we saw, which was the funniest. It says, quit staring at my package. And there's a package in the lower part of the shirt, if you know what I mean. So, but again, that's what he wanted. Make him happy. That's what I'm about. But again, it was the dirtiest, funniest sweater of the bunch. So that's what we got. So we're trying on. Anytime I see weird hats, I'll even for Halloween or whatever, I'll try them on just to do it. So she didn't get a picture of me. They had this styrofoam one that had a bow and it was a red. Oh, there it is.
I got it. You bet I did.
I'm literally walking around the store trying to find her wearing that because she was near me when I was there, and then I turned around. I'm like, "Hey, look! Could you wait a minute? This is see what I mean about the fast forward, fast forward, fast forward." I'm literally like looking around, and I'm like, "Where?" So I had to call her on her cell phone, and as I'm calling her, I see her walk by the aisle, so I shut my phone off. And then she turned and I looked and I had the hair on. So, I mean, I'm walking around the whole store with that thing on. So I should have bought that. I really should have bought that, but I didn't.
So here's another one that I got of him.
That one I actually like.
Oh, frosty hat. That's what I call it.
That one I like because that one had the red thing around it. It's got a flower on the side and
Frosty's hat.
I was going to buy that one too, but again, we were showing Joe because Joe wanted a Christmas hat too. So then we tried on, a picture of the one.
No, you had it on your phone. So
we tried on these big like cowboy hat, Santa Claus hats. They looked like cowboy hats, but they were red and had a white stripe around it. Mad Hatter. But we both tried on them, and I took a picture. It's on my phone, so I can't show you. But that's all part of Chris Pimp Hat.
Pimp Hat. How do we know it? So anyone that has anything to do with Shelf on the Elf will appreciate
Elf on the Shelf.
What?
You have
I said Shelf. Elf on the Shelf.
She has dyslexia when it comes to saying words,
I do.
Man. Many times she reverses things. It's so weird.
But this is the way I've always been, and it's not going to change. It's how my brain works. So this is so cool. Can you guys see that? I don't know if I can get that in there right. So this actually is sneakers with like a luminol where you can, and a little light that you could do and make it look like where you could track where Shelf on the Elf has walked. I thought that was so
Shelf
cool.
on the Elf. I said it again. if you're looking for the shelf on the Elf,
Hey, but you understand me. That's all that matters, right?
or you'll think a bunch of little people broke into your
I
house.
do have dyslexia.
Either one.
I do speak backwards. I do that a lot.
Now, if I did that, I put them on the walls. I put them on the bed.
But I think that's cool.
I put them on the toilet seat,
everywhere.
on the kitchen.
I would.
I would put them everywhere.
I would put CUP on the toilet paper and then put the little tracking.
Well, I'd actually have the feet lead into the bathroom by the toilet and put some pudding on the TP.
So
make it look like the Elves.
They have the luminol, like the little footprint one, but they also have one where you do a handprint. But I thought the elf would be dead. But I thought that the the little, because you can't see it with your own naked eye. You got to use that special light that's in there to see the little tracking thing, which I thought was really cool. But that's me. I'm quirky.
Don't take much. Don't take much.
Cup. Yep, CUP.
Speaking of cup, I got to get the cup to Kathy.
Oh yeah, we got to show you
about it.
Kathy did. Kathy made John and I something very special for Christmas, and I do have to say, I absolutely love it. And believe it or not, Sheila and her husband Bob, they also did something very special for us at a dinner. Blacklight. There you go. He's running over there to go get something. It kind of makes me afraid. Dan thought a big gummy elf that we tortured, he actually melted in a fire. Why would you torture the gummy elf? Are you talking about he ate it or tried to eat it? I got to show him the other thing that we were given too.
What is it?
This. I thought this was really sweet.
Oh, so Kathy made us one of these.
Each of us. It's. Oh no, she did it. You boo.
Yeah, wait for you. No, seriously. So Kathy, at the Creeper Gallery, she gives us. It's got her name on it. See that? And on the front, it's the picture from.
I love these, Kathy.
From our engagement. I know it doesn't do it justice with the light. I'm trying to.
It was actually so sweet and so beautiful.
But it's the picture from our
engagement. Cut his arms off, then his legs. Okay.
Very, very nice. Very nice. So thank you, Kathy. That was very, very. Again, that's a keepsake that we're gonna have for forever and ever. So I mean, that was really, really cool. So
it was funny too because when we went to dinner with the township volunteers and stuff, there's Sheila and Bob, her husband, and she said, "I have something for you guys, but it's not that big a deal." And she goes, "And I immortalized this date," and she gave us this. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it actually has a date on it.
Yeah, in the corner.
In the corner right there. And we're going to add the actual date. So when Chip Coffee says, "Hey, you want to get married?" everybody thought that was our real actual date of getting married. So we're actually incorporating the date that Chip said what he did with us at the expo. And then we're going to put the actual June 14th on there too. So that's kind of cool. To me, that's like that means an awful lot. We have that in our memories forever, and it's forever immortalized in the picture and stuff. And then we're going to put the other day.
So much love on the top.
That was really cool.
But yeah, I mean, Kathy, again, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that took a lot of thought and a lot of care to
just
do
like Deb with
like
my T-shirt.
With your what?
My F T-shirt.
Oh, the F T-shirt. But we appreciate it, and like I said, you know, we're just surrounded by good people. I mean, we're fortunate in that way. I was writing this whole long, and I'll probably do it anyway at some point. He did, but he didn't. Liam, he did he tricked us into the ceremony part of it. And again, for those of you who don't know, I'll run through it really, really quick. Liam is the person who really got married at the expo. We had walked in. We were trying to get Chip out of the auditorium because we were done with the expo. Liam was there with his now wife, and Chip had married them. We didn't know. Chip was standing next to this man and this woman, and we're like, "Come on, Chip, you got to go. Time to go. Time to go." And he said, "Mr. Ruggiero, I just married two people for the first time ever at your expo." And I thought he was joking. And I'm like, "Yeah, great. We got to go." And he's like, "No, they're married." And I said, "Seriously?" He said, "Yeah." And so we congratulated them, gave them a hug. congratulations.
Got a
And
banner so they can have it behind him, the whole thing.
yeah, and he's like, well, what about you? I said, me? He said, yeah, you love her. You want to marry her. I said, I want to propose otherwise. And he said, well, what about you? She said the same thing. He said, well, now you're married. And we were like, so she hugs me, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? You know? And then the word spreads like wildfire that we got married in the auditorium of the expo while her father is outside the door. Like, we would have done that ever. Now, a nicer chip to do that. We could have mailed in the certificate and done the whole thing, but
yeah. we
didn't wait 30 years to get married in an auditorium in Woodbridge High School. We're going to get, no offense, Liam. We've been.
He was by the stage.
Yeah, we've been through the ringer. We've been together many, many, many years planning this moment. And again, we don't want St. Patrick's Cathedral, but we want our friends to be there.
Yeah, we want family and friends there.
You know, that's what we want. It had nothing to do with the place or
no.
It was just none of our friends and family were.
And we were honored that Chip would even want to do that.
No, but Liam, the way you did it was awesome. It was great for you. You know what I mean? You planned it. You did it that way. You've got a memory that'll last a lifetime, you know? But for us, he tricked us. He didn't trick you. You obviously wanted it.
You say you don't want it?
Not that day, I didn't.
Not after we worked all day long and we were like, our brains were still when we're in expo mode or even in vet mode, our brains are going 10, 20 steps ahead. We're never in that very moment. So it's always like ding, 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 ding all over everywhere. So,
but we were ecstatic that it happened at the expo. I mean, we were ecstatic that couple got engaged at the Hoover House. No, I totally get that, Liam. I mean, we're at that point now where we're not even doing the big hall and the church and all, and we're still stressed by what we're doing.
Yeah.
Hello, Jason. How are you? So, I was just saying though, and I'm not going to go into a whole long diatribe here. This time of the year, I get super, super sentimental. Isn't really the word. Maybe it is. Maybe it ain't. But that's why I love watching It's a Wonderful Life this time of the year, because I swear, every time I watch that movie and they get to the end, the richest man in town, I almost cry every single time because of all that George went through and that people just appreciate him for being a good person. And had nothing else to do with money and who he was doing, whatever. It was just because him and his wife were just good people who were trying to help people and makes lives better. And again, that touches my heart in a big way. So I always kind of reflect on the year when we get to this time of the year. And I wrote out this 3-paragraph post from my Facebook, which I discarded because I was just like, I'm not quite there yet, as far as what I want, everything I wanted to say. But more or less, it was just about, again, when we're at these Christmas parties and we're with people and we're doing the events and we're, especially like this last one at the Creeper Gallery, and we're saying goodbye to people for the year and like, or at the Hoover House. So that's the last time we'll see you this year. And they hug us and they say, we'll miss you guys, whatever, blah, 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 great year. Creeper Gallery, same thing. And we're hugging everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. And that's when what this is, whatever this is tangible. It's not something that's just a catchphrase or a word that we use to further our brand or who we are or anything like that. It is tangible. It's real.
Yeah.
It's in front of you. The people who know are the people who are at the events, and the people who are new to the events that come in and they meet these great people who have been around for a while. And now the new people come in and they become part of the great people that have been around for a while. And then they invite new people in, and it just grows and it grows. And it has been that for 15 years now, grown more over the pandemic on social media, of course, but it's always been grassroots from nothing to whatever it is.
A perfect example. We got invited to surprisingly to it took us aback and surprised us. We got invited to be a part of this Christmas celebration at this place, and we went to it, and we didn't know a lot of people there. We knew just very few, handful.
Therefore, yeah.
And we walked into this big area with a whole bunch of new people and everything, and
Chris ignored me and talked to another couple, and
no.
I was.
So this is, don't jump ahead of me, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Slow
Imagine,
roll.
imagine that.
Pull back on the reins.
Imagine that.
Anyway, so the door opens and the ice cold air comes in, and I look over and there's a couple, and we had, we were the only ones sitting at the table besides a guy that John and I know, and I said to him, I said, "You're more than welcome to sit here." And before I knew it, I was in such a deep conversation with a couple, and it was the highlight of my night. I mean, I absolutely enjoyed getting to know and meeting these people and their story and what they had to tell me. And I feel like I met another soul that's on the same wavelength as me and has like the same ideals, and she revealed that it's her first time that she's been out with a group of people, because she's been out for a year under medical care and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's stuff like that that reminds me that when we cut off other people or we don't open the door for new people, what you miss out on. If I hadn't turned to this couple who I'd never met before and say, "Hey, you're more than welcome to sit with us," and it wouldn't have started a friendship that I think is going to be another friendship that's going to be incorporated in my life. That's how much I really enjoyed speaking to this woman and the things she told me and talked to me about. And we had similar things. Older woman than I am, and she had similar things in her life that I have, that we ended up going back and forth on, that was like really eye-opening, and it really elevated my evening. So for me, when John was talking about people bringing in new people and like that, and the people within this group, the people who attend the events that we do, they are so welcoming. They do that. They just open their arms wide and bring people into like they've known them forever. And that's a good feeling.
Yeah. So we sat down at this table with a guy we were sitting there together for a while because it was the only table open. Of course, it was right by the door. Like she said, that was kind of cold. And in walks the guy we haven't seen in
years,
4 years, 3 years at least.
It's been a while.
And again, we miss this guy. And he was, everybody liked him. Everybody liked him. And we didn't know what happened to him. And he sits down and we're catching up with him. And again, this other couple comes and then Chris didn't talk to me for the rest of the night. So I wound up talking to this guy.
He was having a good old time all by himself. You don't need Chris.
Seen forever. And again, this guy's story about,
what he's been going through.
Again, I don't want to bring this into that kind of. I don't want this to be.
But we were feeling good with each other though, having that conversation. And
but I go the other way.
You do.
My mother beat into my head from the time I was little. When we were little, when you saw someone who was different, little kids make fun of people who are different. They stare, they make fun of, and my mom wouldn't have that. She'd whack you in the head, and she would say to me, "You don't make fun of people like that." And then she'd say for me, "There for the grace of God go I." And I'd be like, I don't know what that means, but I know I get whacked every time I make fun of people. So I wouldn't do it, So, of course, eventually you learn what that means. And again, not to go too far down the rabbit hole with that stuff. Celine, whoever, anyone who's going through things. I tell my son this all the time because he deals with issues. And he's like me. And when you get down, you get real down. You get into one of those funks, and sometimes they're hard to get out of. And for me, it's peaks and valleys. When you get stuck in the valley, sometimes it takes a while, but tomorrow could be that good day. you know, and I keep telling him that. As depressed as you are today over this didn't happen, that didn't happen, a week from now, you may go, oh my God, this thing happened in an instant. I got a call and this thing happened or that thing happened. And it's better. And I found myself sitting in that chair listening to our friend talk about his life and the things that he had on his plate. And I said, man, what do I have to complain about? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Stark reminder.
I'm missing people that aren't around anymore that I love a lot. And the holidays kind of bring that back even more. But I'm with the person I love. You know, my kids are doing okay. They're, you know, not exactly 100% happy and everything in their life, but they're healthy and they're, you know, and her daughter is okay. Her grandson is doing great. Just had a birthday. You know, they're getting along okay. Could be better, but they're doing okay. But there's always those people who, you know,
like the family
can't
members
take
going
anything.
with their child and what they're going through.
Yeah, you can't take
other
anything.
Families that are going through what they're going through.
Never take it for granted.
We just found out another good friend of ours lost someone in their family.
Yeah, just never take it for granted. Just appreciate it. When the going's good, enjoy the good. Enjoy every bit of it. I mean, and that's what we're doing this holiday season. Yeah, we're busy. Yeah, we're running around. We're very fortunate that people are inviting us here and there. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's go here. You know what? There'll come a time where that's not the case, or we're older and we're not whatever. But for now, yeah, let's make memories, man. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy all of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think. But I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole. But as far as the paranormal stuff is concerned, I'm getting confirmation hopefully tomorrow on the first date. And I told you what that date was. I'll give you the first two events if they lock in and the dates are confirmed. One already is confirmed. February 8th with John Zaffis at Liberty Hall. That one needs to be confirmed. And I should find out tomorrow. That will be the first one we do this year. I believe it's February 22nd.
Love you too.
Would be our second time at Smith Cadbury. That's in South Jersey. Yes, South Jersey.
We're coming back.
We're coming back. You didn't scare us.
Dragging him, kicking and screaming.
We're nervous, but you didn't scare us away. And we know that the drones won't go there. Not that part of South Jersey anyway. But we're coming back. Smith Cadbury, February 22nd. That date is already locked in. So if you're watching this and you do want to go to that, yeah, feel free to shoot me an email. First time we went there was awesome. Yeah. I mean, I was
surprised.
I was in one room and I was shocked at the activity I was getting in that one room. This little girl, I think her name was Sarah, right? Sarah Harris.
Yeah.
One room. I didn't leave one room. It was that active. So that's February 22nd.
I like that place.
And we'll be announcing other events. I'm putting them together piecemeal.
He is.
I'm trying to lock in the bigger ones first with our guests that we have. So I'm kind of piecing that together first before I announce different places and different things. We're meeting with this other location, and that can get pulled into the mix. I definitely don't want to get it to the point where there's 26 events again. So I really have to plan out how many for each place. Liberty Hall is going to be cool. If John Zaffis joins us there with his Echo Box, I think he's going to be surprised because he loves places like that with that kind of history. And that's, again, every piece of furniture there was from that family. So I think his perspective will be very unique as far as what he picks up and who he's able to communicate with. So we love Liberty Hall. We love supporting them, and to have John there, look for that. And email sent for Smith Cadbury again. That went really quick, and people missed out on that one, especially South Jersey people. But
I mean, the last one we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Because you said email sent.
For this one coming up.
Yeah.
And I referenced the last one went quick.
I was just clarifying that.
For this one.
Yep. That's what I know.
Okay. Anyway, yes, I have heard of a Frank's box. I don't use them. Again, being you brought that up, Laura, that I'm going to bring up a point here. Without saying the name of the person, because the person's a dear, dear friend of mine. Dear friend of mine. I was watching another podcast, and they were referencing investigating, and they mentioned, the fact that we use equipment and that they like to just go in with a recorder. And, I'm watching this thing and I'm thinking to myself, again, I don't say this for the sake of saying it because we do use equipment. I say it because it's true. And this is 100%. I say it because I believe it. If you ever limited it yourself to one method of communication in your lifetime with everyone and anything all around you, what are your odds of communicating with everyone and everything? Honestly, if you relied solely on the ability to speak English to every person you meet, and that they're going to hear you and understand you, and that you're thinking that's the spirit world, then okay, good luck with that. Because I would rather, I almost look at the spirit world, and we had a really good conversation about this the other day when we were at the party. This person who we were sitting with, who we hadn't seen for years, was saying, why do we hear this and we don't hear that? And I never heard my mom's voice, and I told him I have no freaking idea because I don't. But options are better than no options. So on this podcast, I literally wrote in, I said, if you're doing it that way, don't you think you're limiting yourself to one method? You're saying, I'm going to put a mic on and a recorder, and if that voice isn't within the distance of that recorder, I get nothing as far as interaction and communication. Boop, zero. They've got to be within the distance of that microphone. So now, forget it. You don't have recorders everywhere. You've got them by you. So you've limited to one piece of equipment in an area that you could cover, which in theory, if the spirit was in the room with you, they would talk. But if they're down the hall and they can hear you.
And EVPs are definitely one of the best ways.
And most of them are whispers, so you're really limited.
Evidence. And if you can get it, you can't, it's
so this same person who
speak sometime, my mouth.
What?
Me, I get caught up on my words. I don't get them out. Go ahead. Didn't mean to throw you off. I was talking to myself.
What's it gonna hurt trying other methods?
Nothing. You should always have different things in your arsenal. Always.
So this same person who preaches they only use one piece of equipment also does table tipping. Oh my God. The biggest horseshit of horseshits
for you
that ever shit the horseshit shit.
For you.
Horseshit. There's
for you.
Horseshit, and then there's horseshit.
Again, I reiterate, for you.
Horseshit. Seen it, done it. All influenced by people who are sitting at that table doing what they're doing. So when I hear again, and I love this guy, and he's probably going to watch this and and message me and whatever, but I am sorry. If you're preaching, you're authentic, and this is the one piece of equipment and he didn't knock us for using equipment. It's not like he did that. He said he actually likes the fact that we do that we use equipment, but he doesn't. So it wasn't like he was putting us down.
No,
he wasn't, and he wouldn't do that.
No.
But I'm sorry, I get so offended when people okay, this is what we do, and it kind of makes us a purist. Well, when you're table tipping and pendulum and you're doing that, guess what? You're not a purist. You're someone who's using stuff that's really, you want to talk about equipment having false positives, then you're going to tell me a table or a Ouija board or a pendulum or a dowsing rod can't have false positives or be influenced?
You can get
Give me a break,
definitely.
man.
That's why you have to be smart on how you do it. But I do believe in pendulums. Sorry, but I wanted to see that comment that if I can find it.
But anyway, that was it. And like I said, I love this guy.
Laura Carroll goes, I had a friend of mine say, why not use a walkie-talkie when investigating? I laughed so hard my stomach hurt.
You know what? That's not actually a dumb idea, because here's the thing. There is a way to do it, because we're all talking about frequencies. How do we know what the spirit world frequency is? That's why people use spirit boxes. They're giving the white noise and the radio frequency. They're giving spirits a chance to use that theoretically to cast their voice. That's the theory behind the spirit box. Using walkie-talkie, if you had a recorder and you had a walkie-talkie in one room, now if you could trust the people who were doing it, and that they weren't going to talk into the microphone. Let's say I was in one room and Chris was in the other, and I was asking questions and she was just holding the other walkie so that the recorder could hear it. In theory, those questions are going on a different frequency. They're not us just being in a room talking. They're transmitting over walkie-talkie frequency, which is different than our voices. So in theory, you may be able to get spirits to understand them more than you would just talking.
Yeah.
In theory. No different than a spirit box.
Yeah.
See, that's what I love, all that stuff, because the problem
it's how you use them is the best way
right,
to say
because the
it.
problem with that is, how do you trust it? If Chris and I tried that tomorrow and we got AVPs, people will be like, how do we know that wasn't Chris going,
Put a camera on me.
The thing?
You know, there are things that you can do to eliminate, you know, those type of questions. You know, John used to run cameras and stuff where you could sit and you could watch the cameras where in the room where he put the stuff where we were getting EVPs or voices that with equipment that was in the room. Sometimes those are the best things, and you get surprised. And what happens? How did sound come from a room that's empty? And, you know, and not just your typical movement sound of a house that's shifting or the wind blowing or, you know, it's groans and joints that happen with old buildings, but actually a voice or something getting moved or a light going on and off that shouldn't. I mean, there are really unique things that go on when we're not there to witness and see it. So
no, I got so many pieces of equipment that they work. I know they work. They work. They do what they're supposed to do. But are they things that they're hard to trigger, but they do what they're supposed to do? And I don't bring them out a lot, and a lot of them are motion sensors or other type of sensors, but they do work. I mean, if you walk in a room, they'll go off. If you trigger the sensor, they'll go off. So I have a closet full of stuff that, again, I would love one night, like you said, if it's a possibility, but you would have to, a DVR system or something. That would be really cool and a night to do. Not to be able to, tapping into the stream would be difficult because, again, that's the whole Wi-Fi crap and all that. But I would love to just run cameras in different places like Camp Evans or wherever, and have the equipment set up through the night with, you know, recorders, well, the cameras have recorded mics on them, and just see what happens when nobody's there. You know what I mean? Do you hear knocks? Do you hear bangs? Do you see shadows? Is stuff tripping and going off that never would go off with people in the room?
Oh, there you go.
That would be really cool. Or even if to leave it for like an hour by itself. You know, I mean, remember we would do that? We would get out of the building and we would just leave the cameras running, and we would stay outside talking for like an hour. Then we go in and get the cameras. We should try to make a habit of that again. You know, if we do a live stream at a place, just leave our phones down on record with a flashlight with some equipment in different areas.
I just walk away.
And leave it recording, and then come back and get them. And then edit that and show. Are you writing that down? I'm sorry. Want me to go over that again?
Oh, and don't forget, next year it's on the
Do you
books.
want me to go over that again? Because you may have missed it. I went really quick over that one.
No, I think they got it. They'll just keep hitting
yeah,
replay.
rewind.
You don't have
Go,
to
go
worry.
back.
They'll
It's
do hit-
timestamp.
Yeah, you don't have to worry.
Around 47 minutes.
So, and help them too. Give them the golden spoon. But don't forget also, there are plans, and it's going to happen next year with a sleepover in the mine.
Well, that we're definitely doing. That's 100%.
You guys are gonna do.
That's 100%. But I need to, again, the problem with these other places, they book really quick because everybody's everywhere now. I know of one definite place that we want to go. The other place, we don't know. We got to kind of think that one out. And again, that's up to you guys as far as a road trip.
I want a road trip.
Yeah, but it's got to be like, it can't be like 12 hours of driving.
No.
It's got to be within a decent amount of,
Well, it's going to be a stayover.
Yeah.
Not at the location itself, because I'm not staying over in a location.
I mean, the one we can actually stay over because it's a bed and breakfast,
Okay.
type of place.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The
We got to
other
follow
one,
up with that.
I want to go to one of these prisons. I want to
go to asylum.
Well, we're talking about Ohio, but I don't know how much Ohio would cost.
We'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Hi, Colette.
Colette, it's been a long time. Where you been?
Hopefully everything's okay.
But no, I want it like at least 2 trips. At least 2. Definitely 2 when the weather is kind of to warmer.
Dan said Erie.
I ain't going to Erie. I heard about that, Dan. I'm not going to go through like blizzards and stuff to go. I told you, if it ain't heated, it ain't haunted. Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. Again, those are the things we have to book and we have to plan and we got to, because everybody's booking. And those places book fast. So the one we're talking about, I got to get on the phone with them and book that.
Yeah.
It needs to be done like ASAP.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out what time of the year we're doing that. And then the other one, we just got to figure out. And like I said, those places book fast. During the week is always cheaper, but nobody can really get off during the week to go.
No,
on a
that's
ghost
too
hunt.
difficult to investigate.
Just visit,
to investigate. We're looking to investigate Myrtle's plantation.
Still McGettin. Yeah, we're not. My brother is in the hospital, but I'm still waiting for his with the hospital. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
A lot of people are going through. I told the story on my personal Facebook, and again, I don't want to get into this stuff too deep again, but I do have an issue with my eye. You guys know that. From time to time, you'll see the patch on, and my vision goes wonky, and I have a disease where my body produces tumors, and it affects me, and it's going to affect me my whole life. It's going to get worse, and I get injections for the issues with my eye, and everything's been fine, even though it costs me $300 every 3 months for injections. Well, now I'm told that my doctor, the neurologist,
They just moved over a building. That's all. Just the building.
I'm told that my doctor, I mean, I did it one time and she corrected me and she just zip right in again. Eastern State doesn't allow paranormal people in anymore.
Hinsdale would be too small for
and it's too
both
far.
of us.
My doctor, I found out, is still accepting my insurance and can do the injections and see me. But because she moved across the parking lot from the building I first started seeing her to a new office, that building doesn't take my insurance and they're going to charge me a facility fee, which could be anywhere from $200 to $1,400 every time I go. How shitty is that? So I was pissed. But anyway, there's an Airbnb that is haunted at the Battles Farmhouse. I don't know what the battle. There are B&Bs in Gettysburg, but they don't have enough room for. They have like 1 or 2 bedrooms if you're lucky. I mean, if we were to do something like that, we would have to do it for the investigation, and I don't think they allow that. I think that they allow only like 4 people.
Yeah,
5 people.
it's small. And the place you're thinking of, I think can accommodate everybody, right?
We're gonna have to have that. Yeah. No, the one is definitely going to be able to accommodate everyone
Yeah.
until it sells
So
out.
everybody's.
There's a
can be
limited
there.
number of rooms, but there's enough rooms. But like Ohio, we would have to go there, do the ghost hunt, and then, like you said, everybody get rooms if they wanted to get some sleep afterwards or not stay the whole entire night, because we would have to do that. You're not going to drive back after ghost hunting
I'm
for
not.
6-7 hours.
No.
But like
My
I
birthday's
want to
over.
do one of these bigger prison places or something like that.
I do.
You know, I think it's time. It's been too long. We haven't. You
Nope.
know, time to travel. Time to get out and do some
That's
stuff.
something you guys would be interested in doing, taking a trip and going to someplace.
For rest of his life, I'm so good. I don't have to pay. Yeah. It's
Yes,
no
on
fun.
Ohio.
Ohio's on the bucket. It's on my bucket list too. I heard it was pretty good. I mean, again, I could look into that, but again, that's something where when you do those type of events there, for instance, you have to pay like $1,200, and we talked about this. You got to pay in advance. Eastern State does not allow ghost
Nope.
hunts anymore. You got to pay in advance, and then you got to sell the tickets. So, yeah, I'm thinking of Ohio State, Mansfield. Yeah, but we'll think of some places. We'll think of some places for sure. Like that's one thing I need to get on. I got to start researching and look at and getting prices and getting potential dates and getting something locked in, because the year's going to be over in a matter of weeks now, and then we're going to start the new year, and I do want to go away. We're supposed to be going there again, but we are a second time there. Okay, cool. Never been there. Heard good things about it. Never been there. Sounds like fun. Marianne will be there. We know the Waverly Hills. It might be too far. I'd love to go there, but it might be too far. Ask for established patient fee waiver. Patricia, you bring up a good point, because my doctor pretty much said the same thing. If they haven't charged me that, they shouldn't start now. And they didn't charge me that the first 2 or 3 times I went.
But it depends.
Are you thinking fall?
Are you guys going to the Mark Twain? Mid Orange?
Mid Orange was another one that I was kind of thinking about. I know that people have gone there, and I hear it's a big place. It's another one I was thinking about. Not sure about that one. I might want to go somewhere where I don't want to get confused with other people that go to these places who, let's just stop there. But I want to go somewhere, different and new. So Ohio might be it, honestly. I hear it's a huge place. Deb, you may win a prize for that one, because that's one of the places we're thinking of. And that's, I think, can accommodate a lot of people. It's
Donna,
just a
you
matter
went
of
where?
the Intrepid. You know what? You can't. Those boats, they don't let you do anything on those boats.
Oh, you got.
They follow
stay
you
with
around and they leave the lights on.
We found out all about the
Yeah,
rules and regulations of going on those boats.
We're not doing any boats. No way.
Hey,
there she is. Where you been? How you doing, Taryn? So yeah, we're gonna plan on at least 2 away trips. We want to get away. Gettysburg would be awesome, because we love Gettysburg, but we're saving that
a little bit too.
But we're saving that for the
jubilation,
which should be.
We did Penhurst many years ago, believe it or not.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We investigated it.
That's what you said. No, we didn't do a group thing.
But she totally threw me off my thought now. Sorry, she just totally derailed my thought, like she usually does. Squirrel. Wildwood, too far. I know, Tracy, you talk to those people and you want to go out there, but you want to take that drive. Good luck to you. That's as far as Hinsdale.
Yeah, it's 6.5 hours.
And if I'm driving that far, I'm going to be in a giant prison.
6.5 hours.
I ain't going to be in a. Not that there's anything. I heard that place was good and people enjoyed it, but if I'm going that far, I'm going to be in a big haunted jail or some kind of
asylum.
Yeah, asylum.
I want to go do an asylum.
Fit right in.
Gonna take you with me.
But anyway, no, I was talking about Gettysburg. Thank you, Taryn.
Yeah.
Gettysburg, when we do the next jubilation, it is going to be a little more special because we're going to add someone to the mix next year. Besides us and Cody and Satori, there'll be another special guest who will be there for that weekend. So save that weekend. First week, I know we're a year away from it, but make
Be
plans
prepared
for the first weekend in December for the big, I did say doo-doo, for the big jubilation in Gettysburg, because it's going to be us, Cody and Satori, and one other special guest who is going to make that weekend awesome. And you guys will have a really good time at that one. And then we're planning an event in May that we're trying to lock in May 10th. That's another day you want to jot down.
Pencil in.
There's going to be an event with some special guests at the mine that you guys are going to want to come to for sure. So
Get married there.
Sorry, Marianne. Again, with these people getting married on the dates that we're planning things. Oh, my phone's going to go dead. I only got 20%, so we're almost at the hour anyway. First weekend, Christmas festival going to be packed.
You should. We have a great time when we do it.
May 10th, you're going to want to come to May 10th. But May 10th is going to be really cool because it's going to be different. That's all I'm going to say. Can't announce it yet because we need to finalize some plans. The plans are already finalized with the people who are going to be involved in it. It's just there's background things we need to take care of before we announce a lot of these events. And we're trying to set up other events as well that are going to have people joining us. Not a lot, but enough to make it cool, And we're looking at March 29th as potentially having another special guest with us as well, who I can't announce because we haven't finalized those plans either. But going to be busy. It's going to be cool. We're going to go away a couple of times. We're going to do a lot of cool events, a lot of cool places, and it'll be fun. And we'll be back here and we'll be doing our interviews. And hopefully Sherry will come on soon because I think the Sterling Mine episode should be coming out. I'm thinking this week or next week.
Ooh.
So, also there's a project that we've been working on for a very long time. So we're going to ask two things from you for this holiday season. One, go over to YouTube, subscribe to New Jersey Paranormal to get us to 3,000 subscribers. That would be great because, again, that's the only place that we're going to do the super chat thing for whatever, $1.99, whatever. But go over to YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, New Jersey Paranormal. The other thing is, I forgot what the other thing is. I totally forgot what the other thing is. There was two things I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what the other one was.
Said two things that you wanted.
It'll come to me. The second thing, I'll remind you of what I think of whatever the second thing is. But that's what I want you guys to. Oh, the other thing is, thank you for subscribing. We've been working on a project for many years. We did film a sizzle reel, and it's very, very good with some really cool people involved. And now they're in the process of trying to get it out there to the people who look at these things and decide whether, somebody picks it up or not. And there's going to be some meetings. And so positive thoughts, say your prayers, because if it gets picked up and we get on TV, next time you see me, you got to pay. I don't read that whole moment. But no, true. If you guys can keep positive thoughts for that, we'd really appreciate it because we've been working on this so hard for so long, and now it's polished and it's out there and it looks great. So
keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, it'd be great if it gets picked up and something comes of that. So we'll see what happens. We've tried before. You never know, but just keep positive.
It's gonna be.
Anyway, that's it. Sunday night. We'll see you guys during the week. Monday, what's that? There might be a creeper gallery in there for the week,
Gonna
for
be
this
tough.
week. Huh?
Gonna be tough. It's gonna
There
be
may
tough.
be a creeper gallery.
I'm
on
just
the
telling
books.
you, it's gonna be
There's an
tough.
item there that I got to get my hands on that I saw.
I know you do.
I have to. With
Thank
or
you, Taryn,
without.
and everybody. So I'm gonna say this,
Got it.
and he can continue talking, do
Got it.
whatever he wants to. Have a good night. Stay healthy. Stay safe, and please be especially kind during these times.
And remember,
Good
this
night,
show
everyone.
is free. We don't charge you at all for this show. We will not charge you to watch our show. Right, Taryn? Taryn knows. Free show. Big letters.
Good night, everybody.
I had to. I'm sorry. Anyway, good night, everyone. We'll see you next couple of days. Have a good night.